What's up, everybody? My name is Ryan Olson with WHITEBONE Creations, and today I'm going to introduce to you in depth the GRAKKSAW e-boiler. If you're not interested in a bunch of techie stuff, just jump to 5 minutes in the video and start right there because we're going to clean some skulls with it. But if you want to know the ins and outs, I'm going to just talk to you for a few minutes. I know that's boring, but some of you are really interested in this unit, as was I, so I'm going to break it down as much as I can right now. Forgive me, I'm going to jump in and out because I got a ton of stuff to do, and I'm not the vlogger type. I don't really like being in front of the camera. I prefer to be behind the camera. But I don't want to forget anything, so there's going to be a whole bunch of jumping around. Check out my little room. I know some of you have seen this in the past. Ooh, oh, it's my favorite place. This is where I keep all my memories. Don't need these. Nobody cares about an e-boiler. Look, it's Mr. Beans. He's getting gray. Look at all that gray in his muzzle. My spirit animal. Sweetest dog ever. Okay, thanks for being here, bye. Okay, first things first, this is what the GRAKKSAW e-boiler looks like. And I want to just get this out of the way. I do it every time I talk about a product I am not affiliated with. No commissions, no discount programs, no payment, nothing. I found this at the show. I did not say who I was or what I was going to use it for. I just ordered it and bought it. And I now have a great relationship with Austin. We talk all the time. It's always techie, nerdy stuff about this box, and I love it, and he does not know I'm doing this. So this is my honest opinion about this e-boiler. I'm taking it out of what it was designed for. This was designed originally to macerate with. Set it to 120, let things rot off. A really clean, controlled environment, especially for people that have winter and they just can't do skulls during that really cold time of the year. I'm an anomaly out here on the West Coast. I don't really have a winter and I can go all year, but I wanted originally to use this as a degreaser. What I have found by ramping up the temperature and just cooking overnight, which is no surprise to anybody, including me, is that it just cooks off beautifully. It degreases beautifully. It's one of those things that for whatever reason, its size, its shape, its controllability, whatever, has made it this incredible tool in the skull clean business. I'm being super honest with you when I say this changed the game for me. I started this process when I was 17 years old. I'm 51 years old, and this literally changed the way I do things this year. It's absolutely a tool you should have in your belt. Here's the mechanics of the box. Power, fan, digital display, my brand. 6 screws to access this panel. It's fully enclosed. The internal components. You have your thermostat, which tells you the temperature of the water. You have your heating element, which this will get caked in stuff, so you have to polish this clean. And then you have this beautiful little float. If you put a skull in here and you push your float down, this will not heat. That's a safety thing. This needs to float up with the water. Keep you from wrecking your unit. There is a little plate that goes underneath here, and there's a grill that protects your skull from hitting the heating element. All of that will need to get cleaned when you go through the process. This comes with a sliding lid. I don't like it. I'm not using it. I'm using this like foam board. It's like a bed liner stuff. And I just set it over there, and if I have antlers kicked out, I kind of work it around. That way I don't lose any water as it starts to heat up. We've shared a bunch of this content on Instagram for the last couple of months, and the big pushback or the big comment that's being made is, hey, that thing's 850 or 900 bucks. I think it's way too cheap. I don't know how he got it in there for that, with all the shipping and everything that's involved with it. But I also understand where people are coming from. So you're hearing things like you can use bucket heaters, you can use bands, you could use a sous vide or an immersion wand. You can, but they will not do what this does. I have been using bucket heaters for many, many years. You've seen it all the way back some 10 years in these films. And that's fine, but they need to be tied into a thermostat, and they cycle on, cycle off, and these have a tendency to burn out. It's just not exactly the perfect package, but yes, it will work for a cheaper alternative. I just think you're gonna buy this 6-8 times. You might as well start there. With a band heater like the Honey Boys use that go around the plastic tubs, you can ramp those up, but you typically get melted bucket like this here. I've used those for some time as well, had some good results and also had some poor results. I also see a tremendous amount of heat loss there, as to where I don't see the heat loss with that bucket, especially when I'm covering it. In this film, I'm gonna do somewhere between 5 and 7 skulls. I just lost track because when I would do them, I'd set up the camera. I never changed the water and I never filled the water. So I would come home from a hunt, I'd set a skull in there with fur and everything on, brains, eyes, everything. Sometimes I'd cut the ears just so they'd fit underwater. I'd go lay down, run the dog in the morning, and when I'd come back out, that skull was just like, it just pulled off, and I'm like, you've got to be kidding me. I would whiten and I was off to the next one. So all the work was happening while I was sleeping. That is the sole benefit to this system, and the reason I am celebrating it so much is because I think it will take and eliminate so much extra physical work, and I think we're getting a better product long term. Again, maceration quality in half the time, and well, let's just cook one. Let's go. Hey y'all, this was not meant to be a skull cleaning video, but I can't help it because we're talking about a skull cleaning product. So I just give you a quick once over on the e-boiler, the components and the parts. This is what it looks like from a distance. I killed the deer that's in that pot, so I took a risk and didn't put any wrap around the antler. I brought water up above the antler, I set it at 175 degrees, and I cooked it for 12.5 hours. This is what you're seeing right now. This deer went in with the hide, the brains, the eyes, everything. All we did was kill this deer, process the meat, knock his head off, and set it into the e-boiler. That cooking process with the hide on, which just seems crazy weird to me, works so wonderfully well. Ultimately, I'm taking my hands and pulling off all the big chunks. It is going to be super hot, exactly 175 degrees if I'm being specific. And then I just power wash off all the loose debris. That process right there takes between 5 and 8 minutes total. I'm going to do 5 different animals in this video, and it is exactly the same. Doesn't matter if it's a pig, an elk, a coyote, this deer, doesn't matter. I got exactly 5 to 8 minutes of meat and tissue removal in this process. I said it in the beginning and I'm going to say it again. This process, the way we're doing it right here, is going to give you maceration quality and some of the similarities. So because of that, it's cooked so long, you get a little bit of that flexy bone when it's warm. You do not when it's dried, just like traditional maceration. Everything just pulls off. We're just speeding up the process by days. So I wrap the antler, put it down in a pot of peroxide and water. It's a GLB Aqua Silk. It's 27% by volume, and it has some soaps and caustics in there. I buy this from the pool supply. I bring it to a boil. I pull it out. I rinse it clean, and I set it in the sun to dry. Because of that flexy nature and that nose starting to open up, I zip tie it nice and tight, and as it dries, everything locks into place. No glues, no adhesives. 24 hours worth of dry time. This is that skull that I pulled out of the e-boiler. No recoloring of any kind because of the wrap. Everything is intact. I know some of you just absolutely love that. I'm completely indifferent. Earbuds are in there. You can see how there's still a little bit of yellow junk in there. If I had to pop those out, there wouldn't be any, but to each his own. That bracket is so tough. Sorry about the poor film work. This is just for reference. So this is a mule deer doe. It was put in there exactly the same time as my deer. I just filled everything up, 175, 12 hours, different age, different gender, all that stuff, same time frame. I didn't overcook, I didn't undercook. This method is super forgiving. You get it. Rinse, lather, repeat. Let's go to the next critter. Still at 175. This morning at like 6:30, I did those deer skulls from the night before. So 1 buck and 1 doe, right? Hide on in the e-boiler, 175 to 12 hours. I could have gone 15, I probably could have got it done in 10. Not a huge issue. The beauty of this system is that if I have something come up, I'm not damaging the skull. I feel like I'm not damaging the skull at 175. I did not change the water. I intentionally left it because I want this heating element to get really bad. I want to show you the worst. I'm not using the top that comes with it. I just use these foam pads so I'm not losing moisture. Like if I had it off and it just steamed all day, my water level would drop and then I might have issues. There's a float in there, it will shut off, but I don't want the skull to like be in dry air. So I have one skull in here that has been skinned, one that didn't get skinned. These are pigs. I want to try and show you as many different scenarios as I can. This has been running for me for a little over 3 months. Constantly. If it hasn't been running, it's been in the back of the truck traveling with me. So it's been in there a good long time. Let's see what it looks like. Pretty loosey-goosey. Let's wash this one really quick, and then we'll come back and do this one. According to the timer on the camera, I sprayed for 5 minutes and 19 seconds. Now this pig will need degreasing and it will need color, but that pig is clean. And all I did was put it in that box for part of the day while I did all my regular 40-hour week. Come on now. That's pretty great. I'm gonna pull the other one, see if it's gonna be similar or if that with the hide on needs longer. I thought just for fun, instead of just pulling that hide off, I figured how well will it power wash off with fur and everything on it. The reality is it's super easy, but it makes a gigantic mess. Just picture taking a 10-gallon bucket of tuna fish and throwing it all over your yard. Not the easiest cleanup. I think it would be easier just to strip it off by hand, wash off the little bit of extra, and then go to the next place. Eight minutes and 38 seconds with the hide on. It took a little longer, but they were in there for the identical amount of time. Equally clean. This is an older pig. Let's go color batch, see what happens. Started before I got to work. When I got home, I did that little bit. In every case with pigs, I move them to that pot, I bring it to just about boiling, turn it off, and I leave them in there overnight. Just leave it in there. That peroxide will degrease like nothing you have ever experienced. So I'll revisit that in the morning, but for right now, I'm headed in to make dinner. Everything's done, clean and washed. We're getting it dialed, y'all. This is the following morning. I bring it back to a boil. That takes me like 3 or 4 minutes. I pull it out and wash it clean. This is the best degreasing method I have ever found for pigs. I'll show you finished products toward the end. Now we're on day 3. No water change. No adding water. This is crazy. I hunted with a couple of youth hunters, 1 deer, 1 cow elk. And so I just dropped him in there just to see what would happen. And it's amazing how it's working out. I would have done this cow elk a little longer than 12 hours. And I've really, in the last 15 since I started this video, have moved to the 177 degree range. I don't know why, but I think there's a difference between 175 and 177, and I think 180 is too much. Call me crazy, but I'm like 45, almost 50 skulls into this thing. So here it is, cow elk, everything on there. Peel, wash, whiten, and dry. I have been accused more than once of being a bull in the china shop, just a little rough with things. But I really am just trying to figure out, is there a better method? 30 some years of doing this, and I'm still learning and I'm still growing, and I'm not trying to be the authority. I'm trying to be the creative thinker that's not going to give up and say there's only one way to do something, because there's no growth when that happens. I think it would be smarter to make a few cuts on this elk than to just manhandle it. And I think it would be better to have on a pair of like leather gloves to help damper some of the heat, because it's ridiculous hot. But it is what it is. I'm actually a little shocked watching this myself. I don't think I've ever scalped an elk, but apparently I've done it here. All right, let's power wash this one up. Slide and shake and move it. Slide and shake it. All right, some of the sort of obvious parts, but you're going to want to make sure you drain the e-boiler out the backside and not over the controls. You want to keep it as dry as possible. Plan on it being really nasty inside. So I counted, this was actually 7 skulls. I power wash it out, and then I take Scotch-Brite or even like a sand cloth or an emery cloth and polish that element so all the gook comes off there. It's just gonna make it more efficient. This is in the rain, 12 hours, 177 degrees. I just put a little eyebrow over there so it wasn't raining directly into the unit, but I've never had any trouble with all the washing, rain, or spraying. I would just encourage you to keep it as dry as possible. Okay, y'all, let's wrap it up. For those of you that love those beautiful nose bones, this is the process for you. You like grease-free pigs, this is the process for you. You want beautiful elk, cows, calves, coyotes, bobcats, you name it, this is the system for you. There he is. Look at him. Bean. I love him. All right, this is the end of it. Never stop doing cool stuff. If you're in the skull business, or if you are hunting a handful of animals a year and it's costing you a ton of money to have your Euros done, I would highly suggest you invest in this piece of equipment. I think it would pay for itself, and I think it's a great tool to have even if you're not in the business. Be kind to one another, and if you have a question about it that I can answer, please leave me a comment and I'm going to do everything I can to get it answered. Thank you for watching.